My name's Jonathan Haller. She's Rachel Govender. And now we say a very good morning and thank you again for some more of your precious time. Rob Parsons, how are you doing?
Oh, it's great to be with you. I'm good, thank you.
In a couple of weeks' time, you and Catherine Hill will be traveling to our beautiful country. I'm sure you can't wait to come back to sunny South Africa.
No, that's absolutely right. It's very cold here in the United Kingdom.
Oh, I can only imagine. Rob, earlier we were chatting to you about some of those big parenting questions and some of those big things that we as parents need to give. And you touched on the fact that, when most parents are surveyed, they would say, I need to just love my children. And love looks like different things to different people. Some people think they're loving their kids by allowing them to do whatever they want to do. Other parents feel that they're loving them by putting in strict boundaries, being authoritarian, telling them, you can't do this, you mustn't do that. As long as you live under my house, you will never, or you must always. And you touched on the fact that the best way to parent is actually to be assertive. Could you unpack that just a little bit more for us, please, Rob?
Yeah, sure. Well, in the assertive home, there are as few rules as possible. You say yes when you can, when the child asks you, can they do something if possible? But the rules that are there are enforced rigidly. In other words, the child knows exactly where they are. But it's very important that parents are together in this. Very often people come to our seminars and they chat to me in the coffee break, and perhaps a woman will say, I'm trying to discipline my kids, I'm trying to set boundaries, but my husband's very lax, or it might be the other way around. So it's very important to be together in it. And then the child knows exactly where they are. The authoritarian parent, the one that slams all the rules down, they do okay for a while. But sometimes later in life, late teens, mid-20s, a bitterness arises in that child. And often you see a rebellion occur in a child, well, sometimes mid-20s, sometimes really ugly rebellions in a man in his 40s, of a rebellion against an authoritarian father, just laid on the rules. So we really believe in as few rules as possible, but those that are there are enforced rigidly. The child knows they matter.
Mm.
And also, we're talking about the big parenting question. Dr. Rob Parsons, of course, Catherine Hill as well, will be speaking to us live on the 6th of March. But Dr. Rob, as you just mentioned, the fact that, this is the parenting styles that are recommended. But what happens if, parents have been doing it the other way around for all the years? I mean, can they now stop and go back and rewind and do it the way you're advising now? Or what happens now?
Well, it's very, the honest truth is, the younger they are, obviously, the easier it is. But, it's never too late in a way to begin doing things properly. And very often we'll see an authoritarian parent, and they're always on their kids' back. They're always on there. Tuck your shirt in, comb your hair, do this, do that. And that child never hears praise. I was having dinner with a man some time ago, and I said, tell me about your child. Oh, he said his bedroom's a mess and he doesn't do his college work. And I said, can you remember the last time you praised that boy for anything at all? He said, I really can't. I said, what's he good at? He said, he's a wonderful musician. I said, when you go home tonight, tell him you were boasting to the man you're having dinner with about your son, a brilliant musician. And he said, I'll try it. And sometimes the smallest thing can make an incredible difference. The power of words. Catherine and I are going to talk about the sheer power of the words we speak.
Beautiful.
Very interesting. This morning I was listening to something from Nicky Gumbel, who also is there in the UK, and he was making the comment that on average we use, or we know, about 20,000 words, and we use in a week or in a day, we use only about 16,000 of those words. But the importance, as you just said, of the words that we say, and we can build up somebody or we can break them down. And I know you've had some incredible experiences of people who late in their lives, when I remember one story you told about an old lady who her father was very critical of her, and how she just had lived under the shadow. Please share that story again, Rob.
Yeah, well, it was a woman who told me about her mother. And she said, my father used to welcome me home. He'd sweep me into his arms. He'd tell me how beautiful I was. And this woman was really damaged. And I said, well, tell me about your mum. And she said, well, my mother, I could never be good enough for my mother. If I came second in school, she wanted me to come first. If I came third in the race, she said if I trained more, I could break the tape. My hair was too thin because I didn't eat enough fish and I didn't get enough air. And she said, when I was 16, I saved for 6 months for a dress for the school prom. And I came downstairs and my mother said, it makes you look cheap. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, is your mother still alive? No, she said she died a couple of years ago. Her last words to me were, Emily, your glasses are on crooked. Do you know, that's sad, isn't it? Catherine Hill, who's a brilliant communicator, you're going to love listening to Catherine, but she was talking at a big event some time ago, and a woman came up to her in tears, having heard what Catherine said about the power of words. And she said, I got 3 kids, but the middle one is called Grace, and she's driving us crazy. We call her Disgrace. She's 8 years old. Disgrace. And Catherine said, oh, you shouldn't do that. And the woman said, I know, I'm sorry, I'm going to change. And the following year, a year later, this woman came up and she had her daughter with her. And she said, everything in our home has changed. We speak positively about our daughter. We never use those words again. And Grace was with her and she gave Catherine a big bar of chocolate. The power of words are incredible. Incredible.
Beautiful.
That is absolutely incredible, Rob. And I think that's also where we're going to go talk about the next very exciting, very exciting event. And that is the breakfast event with you, once again, our speaker, just talking about the heart of communication. And if you can, just chat a bit more about that, because, I mean, why is it so important? I mean, a lot of times we miss so much when it comes to communication. But if you can maybe just unpack a little bit about that.
Well, you know, they say that many people are more scared of speaking in public than dying. And that's probably true in some ways. And yet the ability to say a few words in public, whether it's at a wedding or to our team in the office or to 5,000 people in a big auditorium, it can be really incredible. And I want to share with some people at that event some basic things. I make a little boast, I'm afraid, that I reckon I can help you improve as a public speaker by 50% within just a few months. Some basic things. I've had the privilege of speaking all across the world to 1 million people in live events, a lot in the business world, a lot in the faith community. I've spoken to governments, and I just want to share some basics. Here's a little tip I'm going to give. Don't waste the start. Don't get up and say, oh, I'm sorry, I've got a bit of a cold today. Is the traffic always this bad in Cape Town? Don't do that. The start is very important. Better something like this. It was Roosevelt who said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Can that possibly be true? Have a compelling start. Don't waste the start. But I want to share a dozen, 20, 30, 40 tips that can help people communicate better, whether it's to just their next door neighbor or to 10,000 people in an auditorium.
Oh, I love that.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just quickly run through it for you. On the 6th of March at Linkway Church in Edgemead, it's a venue that can accommodate 600 adults, plus then a number of kids in a separate venue on the church premises. We're looking to pack it out and make it really big, because it is all about those big parenting questions. It's the one and only Cape Town seminar happening on the 6th of March, starting in the evening at 7 o'clock and running through till 9:30. It's going to be fantastic. True to form, Focus on the Family will be bringing some brilliant resources, many of Catherine Hill's books and Rob Parsons' books, as well as some other material and resources that you can purchase on the night. But the big thing is to be in a space where we can learn and grow as individuals and as parents, and that we can do better so we can help the next generation. So that's the 6th of March in the evening at Linkway Church. Get your tickets through Quicket. And then on the Friday morning, 7th of March from 8:30, we're going to be in Pinelands at Pizzeria Villaggio, and Rob will be giving us a masterclass in public speaking. It's called The Heart of Communication. We really hope to see you at both or either of those events, but either which way, you need to book your tickets and do so through Quicket. That's Quicket with a Q, quicket.co.za. Rob, thank you so much. I know that you and your wife love South Africa, and it is just such an honor to welcome you back into our beautiful country.
No, we can't wait to be with you. It's been lovely to talk to you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're looking
Bye-bye.
forward to it. Bye.
Bye.